Okay, time for Captain's question. And I know we did the one for Here's a Terry Cluster, the first one. We spent 20 minutes talking about food. I won't go into 20. But, all right. Which is your least favorite ship to fly?
Hmm. Least favorite to fly.
Now,
That's a tough question. Um, Least favorite to fly because of the way it flies, or just
for whatever
least
reason,
favorite? Yeah.
least favorite ship to fly. I can go first if you guys want.
No, I think I
Okay.
generally don't like to fly Millennium Falcon type ships. So the stereotypical pancake with turret type ship,
Yeah.
large base ship with a turret.
Yeah.
It I never really found that appealing, and I have those ships, but I almost never put them on the table for whatever reason, either because it just there's no call for it and whatever I'm playing at the time, or because I just never found them interesting to fly.
I totally get that. I do. I do. But I won't talk too much about it. J-Bot, what about you?
I think the Falcon's an interesting case because I have one, and I think I've only flown him like 2 or 3 times, but I don't necessarily hate flying it. I think it's just an odd. I don't ever think about it when I'm building a list.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
gonna,
that's 2 or 3 times more than me.
yeah, yeah. You just have it as a nice collector's piece, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, this is gonna sound sacrilegious, but I actually don't enjoy flying X-wings. Yeah, it's a strange. Like I don't really know how to explain it, but I love Y wings, Bs, even the A's. But for whatever reason, every time I fly an X-wing, it just doesn't sit right in my head. I don't know what it is, and so I tend to kind of I never do well with them, and it might be because I expect I'm not going to do well, and then thus just play out that self-fulfilling prophecy, or that I just for some reason can't wrap my head around I guess the tactics I need for them versus other ships, and um, I can't point to one specific reason. I just know that's it, and I don't play enough Imperial to know. If I had to choose an Imperial ship, it would be a stealth, only because I suck at the decloaking. I can't. The very first time I ran a stealth ship, I basically decloaked and ran it aground immediately, and with my move, and it blew up spectacularly on the asteroid in the second turn, and that's the only reason I would hate it is because it's a very difficult ship to kind of manage until you get your head wrapped around it. But yeah,
It's
first
funny
go
you
choose
say
the
that
X.
because when I play Rebels, I love flying the T-65. They're my favorite ship as a Rebel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
and
kind of
they're
interesting.
they're obviously iconic, and I think people love playing them, but you don't actually see that many of them on the table anymore.
Well,
For
yeah.
one reason or another, which we don't have to go into. But I think that people like them as an idea, but they just don't like flying them. That's why I don't really see that many of them. Even back in the old days when they didn't have what was basically Wave 3 and before, I really didn't see as many of them. I saw lots of Bs and As and
Well, yeah. The problem is
E's. I just didn't see very many X's.
once the B wings came out, they were mathematically superior to the X wing, and they just beat out the X wing. And it was
Right.
once B wings showed up, X wings died. They just gone. Like except for Biggs and Wedge, but after B wings, you just never saw them. But before that, they're all over the place. But again, that was what Wave 2. So
Yeah, I think in Wave 2 there were still quite a few of those around.
yeah, yeah. All right, so I'll go with mine. I'm kind of torn because part of me says I will say it's just preface. What is my least favorite to fly? I'll say I've never flown a Phantom and I never want to. So that doesn't fit into the category. That's not so to surprise everybody. That's not a thing there. Um, I will say that the Falcon is I'll choose something else, but the Falcon I've never flown it. I've never flown it in the game. I let other friends borrow it, but I've just never liked it. It's got like an amazing dial. It can shoot 360. It's got Han Solo, who's just kind of half broken, and I've just never found an interest in flying it. But I will say, I guess the ships that I have flown, um, the B wing, I just don't like the B wing. Partly, I think it's because it killed the X wing. and I like the X-wing. I just don't like it's too slow, and it can knife fight like Get Out, but it just it can't ever do what I want it to do whenever I fly B-wings, and it's just too ponderous and too big, and I just don't like the B-wing. It just doesn't. I don't like how it flies. I just don't like it.
It's funny about the B-wing. I don't fly them a ton, but I think it's, at least it seems from the outside looking in, that one of the most beloved parts of the B-wing is actually one of my most hated, and that's the 2K turn. Like, I've never found a use for a 2K turn. Like, every time I've flown B-wings, and I flew them against you when we did that last mission test, I never found a use for it. If it was a 3K turn, I could use it all day on a B-wing, but I could never find that 2, because it just felt like when you start fighting clusters of things, lots of ties and stuff, there's no room for a 2K turn. But
yeah, it definitely can get awkward.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people, when I play them and they're playing 2 or 3 B-wing lists, they love that little 2K, and maybe it just takes getting used to.
I mean, if they just had a different flip around move, it would be so good to have that available. But being tied to that 2K turn can be tough at times, especially if you're fighting like large base ships, because those can really obstruct a large.
Yeah, absolutely. Portion. You can't even turn on those,
right.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just never interested me. I don't know. It's just like too much shield, not enough agility. Like I like the X-wing having 2 agility and firepower, and I don't care about the mathematical jousting value or blah blah blah. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad ship. I just don't like it, and that's okay. Like some people can't fly interceptors. They love Imperials, but they don't fly interceptors, and I will say that's probably my least flown Imperial ship is interceptors, because I got so sick of Suntur Fel constantly that I'm just kind of, whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't mind
distasteful to fly it.
But I don't mind it as much as B-wings.